First impressions matter. When a player joins a new team, he wants to prove himself, either from the giant contract he signed, or justify replacing the guy he just got traded for. In this video, let's look at the 10 best and 10 worst first impressions from the 2022 season through the end of April. We'll do the hitters now and the pitchers later this week. If you're watching this later, that video's link is down below. Also a note, to be on either list, you need to have at least 50 plate appearances. First, the bad, and at number 10 we have Jesse Winker of the Mariners. He was an all-star last year for the Reds, and that trade to Seattle seemed like a huge get. It hasn't worked out so far. He has walked a lot, boosting that on base to 326, but he's 12 for his first 71, 0 homers, 6 RBI, a 169 average, and a 523 OPS, 64 OPS plus. Number 9 is Robinson Chirinos of the Orioles. This 37-year-old catcher came over from the Cubs after last year, where he had a very solid 778 OPS. So far in Baltimore, he's down to 514, striking out twice as much as he's walking, 0 homers, 3 RBI. I don't know what they expected out of him, but I'm sure they're still disappointed. Number 8 is ROUGNED ODOR of the Orioles. He's had a rough time over the last few years, but was hoping a change of scenery would bring him back to the star player he used to be. Through 50 at-bats, he has 9 hits and 17 strikeouts, getting on base at a 263 pace, almost identical to his slugging. This makes for a 523 OPS. 0 homers, 5 RBI, not good. Number 7 is Avisail Garcia of the Marlins. He seemed like a good signing to make Miami a little more legit, coming off a full season with 29 bombs and an 820 OPS. So far in 22, he's got 1 homer, 4 RBI, a 501 OPS, walking once and striking out 21 times in 67 at-bats. Number 6 is Jacob Stallings of the Marlins. In his last 3 years with Pittsburgh, he's posted an OPS just above 700. Not great, but not terrible. Now he's starting off with an OPS of 492, 1 homer, 7 RBI, 15 strikeouts with 3 walks, and a batting average of 189. Number 5 is Nelson Cruz of the Nationals. He was one of the last big DHs out there on the market, and yeah, he's almost 42 years old, but he's still productive. Last year, between the Twins and the Rays, he hit 32 homers and had an OPS of 832. It wasn't his 2019 or 2020 seasons. That's when he had an OPS around 1,000 and got MVP votes, but he was still pretty good. So far, he's at 2 homers, 11 RBI, only 10 hits and 84 at-bats, a 155 average and an OPS of 479. Either he will rebound and heat up, or his age finally caught up with him. Number 4 is Jackie Bradley Jr. of the Red Sox. He was never an offensive force, but in his 1 year in Milwaukee, he had a putrid 163 average and a 497 OPS. And prior to that, with the Red Sox, he was at least respectable. He's continuing his Milwaukee ways, hitting 156 with a 458 OPS, no homers, 5 RBI. I hope that defense in the outfield is worth it. Number 3 is Billy McKinney of the A's. This guy's bounced around so much. Just last year, he played for the Brewers, Mets, and the Dodgers, all of it kind of in a bit role. He hit a little under 200 and had a below average 638 OPS. He went to Oakland where he can have more regular playing time, and it hasn't gone well so far. He had only 5 hits and 45 at-bats. That's a 111 average, a 380 OPS, 1 homer, 4 RBI. Even for a team like Oakland, he's gonna need to step it up to keep his spot in the team. Number 2 is Marcus Semien of the Rangers. He was one of the big prizes on the free agent market. He's had 3rd place MVP finishes in the last 2 full seasons with the A's and the Jays, but he's been awful to start. 157 average, 442 OPS, 0 homers, 6 RBI. He's not in danger of losing his job, so he has time to figure it out, and you gotta think he will. Number 1 is Cole Calhoun of the Rangers. He was kind of the other guy the Rangers picked up after Semien and Seager. In his career, he's been a solid league average player. His last year in Arizona was only about a third of a season and not very good, but what a terrible start with his new team. 9 hits and 55 at-bats, 164 average, 0 homers, 1 RBI, 13 strikeouts to 1 walk, a 375 OPS. I think this is the worst start for any hitter on a new team. Now for the guys that are a little more popular with their new team. First, a couple honorable mentions. Kyle Schwarber and Mark Canha are kind of polar opposites. Canha is hitting 345 but only has 6 RBI. That's along with 4 runs scored and 0 homers. On the other hand, Schwarber has 5 homers and 13 RBI, but he struck out 26 times in his first 71 at-bats, sporting a 169 batting average. Between Canha's lack of production and Schwarber being way too feast or famine, they get left off the top 10. At number 10, I have Austin Meadows of the Tigers. After having some good years with Tampa, Meadows is getting it done in Detroit, kind of the old-fashioned way. He's getting on base a lot, and he's struck out as many times as he's walked. He doesn't have any homers yet, but has 2 doubles, 2 triples, 11 RBI, and he's got an 856 OPS. Number 9 is Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers. Possibly the biggest offensive free agent prize of 2022. Freeman took a while to get his production going, but he's been hitting well since the start. He's got a 299 average, 850 OPS, 3 homers, 9 RBI. Also has one of the lower strikeout rates on the list, just 13 and 77 at-bats. He started unlocking that power bat once the Braves came to town. At number 8, I have Nick Castellanos. He was a big free agent prize coming off an all-star season with the Reds, joining forces with Schwarber, Realmuto, Harper, Hoskins, and that scary Philly offense. He's got a .300 average, 3 homers, 12 RBI, a really strong OPS of 849, and he should only improve on that. He was my pick for MVP, so I hope he does. Number 7 is Sheldon NEUSE of the A's. Here's a name you didn't expect. He spent last year coming up and down the Dodgers system, and he didn't do much. Only hit 169 with a .505 OPS over 65 at-bats. He signed with the A's, and in less than a month, he's seen the field more than he did last year. It's really working for him. He's hitting .328, 856 OPS, 2 homers, 13 RBI. It's good to see the bit players get a chance to play more often and flourish. Number 6 is Randall Grichuk of the Rockies. This was a trade right before the season started, with Raimel Tapia going to the Blue Jays. From one hitter's park to another, Grichuk has come on strong. .333 average, 871 OPS, 2 homers, 11 RBI. He hasn't been this good since his 2015 season, when he finished with an 877 OPS. Number 5 is Matt Olson of the Braves. I know the Braves lost Freeman, but Olson's production over the last few years has been so good. All that coming in a terrible hitter's park. I said at the time, this could be an upgrade for the Braves. So far, so good. I have him a few spots over Freeman, sporting a .293 average, 874 OPS, 2 homers and only 6 RBI, but he also has 9 doubles, which is way more than anyone else on this list, and also tops the list in walks with 15. Number 4 is Daniel VOGELBACH of the Pirates. This guy has been gangbusters for a pretty bad Pirates team. Already with 3 homers, 8 RBI, hitting .311 with an 881 OPS. He's never been an average guy. Lifetime he's at .215, so we'll see if he comes back to earth, but hopefully he keeps clubbing home runs. Number 3 is KWAN of the Guardians. He was the story of baseball in the first week, the longest streak by any player to start his career of pitches seen without swinging and missing. He's only struck out 6 times in 48 at-bats. He doesn't have any homers and has only driven in 7, but he does have 5 doubles and a triple, slugging .500 to go along with his .354 average, posting an OPS of .959. We'll see if pitchers start to figure him out, or if he's going to be a Rookie of the Year contender. Number 2 is Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs. Speaking of Rookie of the Year, this Japanese league transfer has made a big splash on the north side. 4 homers, 14 RBI, hitting a solid .279 and has an OPS of .934. You could argue that KWAN is having a better year, but I like the pop in Suzuki's bat, changing the outlook of games with those 4 bombs, and he also has a good eye with 14 walks. Number 1 is Jock Peterson of the Giants. The Dodger farmhand is playing for the arch enemy, and he's been launching homers like crazy. He already has 6, but only 10 RBI. He has a .353 average and is slugging .745. Third in the majors with an OPS of 1127, just behind Mike Trout and Jose Ramirez. Jock is a streaky hitter with some amazing power, and at least for now, he's tearing it up. That's it for the best and worst first impressions on the offensive side. If you have any thoughts on these players, or if there are any others that should have been considered, let me know in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to drop a like and give me a sub for more content just like this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.